You just lost someone's respect 3 minutes ago, and you smiled while it happened. Here's the scary part. You'll probably do it again today, maybe even in the next hour, unless you understand how it works. Look, I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm here to show you the invisible, silent behaviors that are quietly destroying how people see you. Respect isn't lost in dramatic, movie-style confrontations. It evaporates, day by day, in the micro behaviors you don't even think about. These are the silent assassins of your reputation, and if you recognize yourself in even one of them, you're already bleeding respect. Your credibility is leaking out drop by drop. Let's fix it before it's too late. First up, attitude number 1, the I already know syndrome. You're in a conversation. Someone is explaining something, sharing an idea, and before their sentence can even land, you cut them off. Yeah, I know. Or the slightly more polite, oh, congratulations. In that moment, you didn't just save time. You sent a clear signal. Your contribution is worthless. Your voice is an echo of my own genius. Here is why this kills you. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect in its purest form, a cognitive bias where people with limited knowledge wildly overestimate their own competence. The smartest people in any room are the ones asking questions, diving deeper. The loudest people are just pretending to have all the answers. When you stop being curious, people don't see you as intelligent. They see you as insecure, because truly confident people are secure enough to admit what they don't know. Arrogant people fake it, and on a subconscious level, everyone can tell the difference. Attitude number 2, victim energy. That constant low-grade vibe of, nothing ever works out for me. Of course this happened to me. Why is everyone else so lucky? Let's be clear. Life is hard. Struggle is universal. But there is a massive, canyon-sized difference between acknowledging a struggle and weaponizing it for attention and sympathy. Psychologically, humans are wired to respect agency, people who take control of their own narrative. When you constantly frame yourself as the helpless victim of circumstance, others subconsciously pull away. Not because they're cruel, but because chronic victimhood is emotionally exhausting. Studies show that listening to constant complainers activates the same stress response in our brains as facing an actual physical threat. You're not bonding through shared pain, you're draining their energy. And respect walks right out the door with it. Attitude number 3, subtle arrogance. Forget the obvious chest-thumping narcissists. This one is the silent killer. It slides by in conversation, disguised as participation. It looks like turning every story someone tells back to yourself, giving advice that's really just a cleverly disguised brag, name-dropping not to connect but to establish dominance, or interrupting someone's vulnerable moment just to one-up it. Psychologists call this social dominance behavior. It's the toolkit of the insecure, a desperate attempt to feel superior. And here's the kicker. People will smile while you do it. They'll nod. They'll seem engaged. But internally, they have completely checked out. They've labeled you. Respect doesn't come from speaking more. It comes from knowing when to shut up and create space for others to shine. The most respected people in any room are often the quietest, because they understand that respect is a gift you give to others, not a prize you take for yourself. Attitude number 4, the complainer contagion. Every job is terrible. Every person is annoying. Every situation is uniquely unfair. If this is your default mode, you're not keeping it real. You're becoming toxic. Research on emotional contagion proves a frightening truth. Negativity spreads faster and sticks easier than positivity. When you complain constantly, you're not just venting. You are contaminating the entire emotional atmosphere around you. People don't avoid complainers because they're overly sensitive. They avoid them because their nervous system literally registers the interaction as draining. You become the human equivalent of a dead battery. And nobody, no matter how kind, wants to be around a dead battery for long. These first 4 are the foundation of the respect drain, but they're just the beginning. The deeper you go, the more counterintuitive it gets. Attitude number 5, the people-pleasing trap. This one is completely backwards. Trying too hard to be liked is the fastest way to be disrespected. Think about it. When you're the person who always agrees, always apologizes, always says yes, you think you're being kind. But what you're actually doing is teaching everyone around you that your boundaries are negotiable, that your opinions are flexible, that deep down, you don't really stand for anything. Here's the psychology. We instinctively trust people who can say no. Why? Because it signals integrity. It shows they have a spine and have standards. People pleasers might be loved for their convenience, but they are rarely respected for their character. Real respect grows from self-respect, and self-respect means you will have to disappoint people sometimes. Let me be blunt. If you've never made anyone uncomfortable by standing your ground, you're not respected. You're just useful. Next, attitude number 6, the unaccountable blame shifter. You know the story. Your boss is unfair. Your parents messed you up. The system is rigged. Maybe all of that is true. But if that's your entire story, you've completely lost the plot. In psychology, this is called having an external locus of control, the core belief that life happens to you, not because of you. And it is a respect killer because it screams one thing: powerlessness. People are drawn to those who own their story, the good and the bad. They are repelled by those who constantly rewrite it to escape responsibility. Accountability is a form of quiet power. It's a statement that says, I'm not perfect, but I am in control of my response. That is magnetic. Blame shifting is repellent. Attitude number 7, the invisible effort mistake. You work hard in silence, you stay humble, you suffer gracefully, figuring people will notice your integrity on their own. I'm telling you, they won't. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Respect doesn't come from silent suffering. It comes from visible integrity. If you're always hiding your effort because you don't want to seem arrogant, you're also hiding the very part of you that people could admire. This isn't about bragging. It's about presence. You have to show up. Speak clearly about what you value. Set visible standards for yourself and for others. Let people see what you stand for, because respect isn't given to the invisible. It's earned by those who make their principles and their integrity impossible to ignore. And finally, attitude number 8, the inconsistency virus. This is the ultimate trust destroyer. You say you'll call, and you don't. You promise to show up, and you're late. You agree to a deadline, and you miss it. It's called the consistency principle. Humans don't judge you by your best intentions. They judge you by your most repeated patterns. When your words don't match your actions, people don't get angry. They just stop believing you. You become the maybe person, the backup plan, the one they like but never, ever count on. The fix for this is radical honesty, but not with them, with yourself. Be brutally honest about your own capacity. Learn to say no more so you can deliver a powerful yes when it counts. Because every single time you do what you said you would do, you make a deposit in your credibility bank. And credibility is the absolute, non-negotiable currency of respect. So listen, respect isn't something you beg for. It's not something you demand. It's something you command through the consistency of your character. The moment you stop chasing validation from others and start building a person you respect, something fundamental shifts. You stop wondering if people respect you because the answer becomes obvious. These 8 attitudes, they aren't fatal personality flaws. They're just habits. And any habit, no matter how ingrained, can be broken. So ask yourself right now, which one of these is quietly costing you? Find it, fix it, and watch how differently the world starts to treat you. Thanks for watching.